and I'd had pretty good success with it. But in the recent weeks, I've been doing a lot of AdWords setup work. I'm about to do several big AdWords campaigns. And so it's really got me thinking about what actually makes a great AdWords campaign. So today, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. What do you need to do to set up a profitable AdWords campaign? How can you avoid wasting money? What are the specific settings that you need to use when you are using Google AdWords? And how do you write your ads to ensure that people will actually click on them? So we're going to go through several of those things today. I'm going to be doing a live training for some of the students in my course. So you won't be seeing the slideshow that they see. That's going to have a lot of examples and different information on it, but you should be able to get most of what you need just from hearing me talk. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave your comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. And I will probably have to get to those as soon as the training is over. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. The first thing that you need to know is, why would you want to use Google AdWords? What is AdWords to begin with? So it's pay-per-click advertising. It's search engine marketing. This is being used when people are searching for a solution that you offer. It is very different than any other type of marketing, because instead of trying to interrupt a consumer from what they're doing to try and get them to notice your ad, you are actually showing your ad to people who are actively looking for it. So that is what makes AdWords totally different than most other forms of marketing. There's pros and cons to AdWords. One con is that some people believe that the more you do AdWords, you basically become addicted to it. You have to be using AdWords in order to generate traffic. But I'm very big on organic search engine optimization. It's really important that you take the time to set those things up on your website, because otherwise you will just get into the money trap where if you want traffic to your site, you have to pay for AdWords. AdWords needs to be a strategic part of your search marketing. You want to build as many strong organic keywords as you possibly can, but there's always going to be a group of keywords that you're never going to rank for, no matter how hard you try, because there are people that have been trying to rank for those keywords for 10 years, 20 years, and you're just not going to be able to get to that level. So those are some really great keywords to try and rank for. So today we are going to go through how to set up a profitable AdWords campaign. What are the settings and selections that you need to use in order to do that? How are you going to research your keywords and set up those keywords to make sure that you are actually reaching the people that you need to be reaching? And how can you maximize your AdWords campaigns to get the most bang for your buck? So I'm going to show you how to set up your first campaign, how to organize that campaign. We'll also talk about keyword match types and negative keywords. We'll talk about writing your ad in a way that's going to appeal to the most buyers. And we'll discuss briefly ad extensions and conversions. So the first thing that you want to do when you're getting started with AdWords is decide, what is my goal here? You need to begin with the end in mind. So what are you trying to accomplish? Is it a phone call, an email subscriber? Do you want someone to download something, sign up for an appointment? Are you trying to get foot traffic? What is the goal? Because you're going to do things differently based on what that goal is. And you should really try and determine what those are worth to you. An email subscriber may be worth more in your book than just someone who clicks on your page, which it should be. Foot traffic may be more important to you than someone downloading your free guide. So kind of put a monetary value on the different objectives that you would have, because that's going to help you determine how much you can afford to pay for these clicks. So the first thing you need to do is actually set up your campaign. People get really confused with all the options that are available to them when setting up a campaign, but it's pretty basic. What are you doing? So the first thing that you want to do is select your campaign type first, because if you don't select the campaign type first, then when you go and try and save it, it's going to delete the name that you have already put in. So you want to choose search network only if you are just beginning with AdWords. So the search network is going to include things like AOL or Bing or other search engines besides Google. They have partnered together to be able to reach as many people as possible when searching. So the other option would be display network, and that is going to be the Google display network. So display and search marketing are very different. And that's because display advertising is just like we discussed. It is trying to interrupt somebody when they're searching for something completely different. They could be searching for a related topic, but they're not looking for your product at the moment. So until you get a really good grasp of AdWords, I would highly encourage you to only use the search network and not worry about the display network. You can also use Google Shopping. And if you're an e-commerce business, then that could be a great option for you as well. We're not really going to talk much about that today, but the strategies are very similar. So then you want to go ahead and give your campaign a meaningful name. So your campaign could be for a certain product or a certain product type or a certain service. You don't want to mix a lot of different things within one campaign. You want to have one goal, one focus. So just give it a name that will allow you to easily identify what this campaign's about. The next thing you're going to do is choose your location, and you want to select that individually. You can either do it by city. You can do nearby options, such as nearby neighborhoods or districts. And then you can do a radius. So let's say you're a plumber and you only travel 40 miles outside of your location. You can actually do a 40-mile radius around where you are. And those are the only people that you want to show your ads to. Then you want to go ahead and choose your bid strategy. Your bidding strategy, when you just get started, you're not going to know what the right thing is right off the bat. So I'd encourage you just to put in somewhere between $2 and $3. That's a pretty good starting point. And you're going to start seeing what the average cost per click are for the certain keywords. And if you're actually getting onto those first page rankings with that bid. So it's something that you're just going to have to test as you go, because the cost per click can vary greatly. It's going to depend on your location, how much competition is around you, and what you do. If you are the only person in your state that sells a certain product or service, you're not going to have a lot of competition for those keywords. It's pretty much guaranteed that anybody looking for that is going to click on your ad. But if you are a DIY attorney in Los Angeles, then you could pay up to $60 per click. It varies greatly. So there is no right answer for that. And then there's going to be a section that says rotate indefinitely. Basically, we'll go over that later, why you want to choose that, but it's going to help you split test your ads much better. So go ahead and select rotate indefinitely. The next thing you want to do is start choosing your keywords. And the best way to do that is to use spy tools or competitor search tools. So I use something called SpyFu. There's other products called SEM Rush, among others. And it's going to be a great way for you to identify what your competitors are bidding for, what keywords they're actually paying for on AdWords. You can see what they're ranking for organically, how much they're paying, how many clicks they're getting. So a lot of great information can be found there. Some of these platforms offer free 30-day trials, but if you want to continue to do this, I definitely encourage you to get one of these. But if you don't want to do that, then you can just use Google Keyword Planner. So you're trying to get a list of keywords that you can then sort in an Excel spreadsheet or something later. So you're going to go to the Keyword Planner under the Tools tab, and then you're going to select Search for New Keyword or Ad Group Idea. And when you do that, you can just type in a few broad keywords and see what it comes up with. You can put in keywords for a variety of services or products that you offer, and that's going to be a great starting tool for you. So what you're looking for are keywords that have the highest amount of search volume per month, that have the best opportunity or the highest intent. So different tools have different calculations that are going to tell you the best opportunity. Some are going to say competition. So it's going to show you how competitive those are. Some of them are going to say, they have the highest organic click-through rates. So whatever tool you're using, just figure out which is going to show you the best opportunity. And that's another way that you want to sort when you get these into your spreadsheet. And highest intent is basically, what is a person searching for these keywords? What is their intention? Is it to buy? Is it to just get initial starting information? There is a really long buying funnel for things like real estate and home improvement, which I specialize in. So you have to understand that someone searching for kitchen remodel, someone searching for kitchen remodeling companies, and someone searching for kitchen installers, they have very different levels of intent. Kitchen remodel could be so general, you're just looking for some good information around that topic. Kitchen installers, you're actually looking for someone to install your kitchen remodel. So think of intent very seriously. So for real estate, it could be real estate is the keyword versus real estate agents, which is a little more specific, but that could be someone who wants to become a real estate agent and they are looking for information on that. And finally, find a real estate agent. That is a really high level of intent. So those are the best keywords you're going to find, because a click is not always created equal. A click from someone on find a real estate agent versus someone who just typed in real estate, most likely the person who typed in find a real estate agent is going to be much more likely to work with you. Words with buy in them are very low in the buying funnel, so definitely keep that in mind. So whatever tool you're using, you want to download that into a spreadsheet. Almost all the tools have that option. I always put them in Excel. First, I typically will sort by search volume because those are the ones I want to work with first. I'll probably hide or delete keywords with a, below a certain amount of search volume. And then I'll kind of sort and find the ones with the best opportunity. And I'll delete those with the lowest intent. So I only want to find those with the highest intent. And you may have to do this process 10 times, 15 times, depending on your business. If you're a full-blown remodeler, you could do this for kitchen remodeling, bathroom remodeling, floor installation, tile installation, window installation. So there's going to be a different group of keywords for all of these. There is no one size fits all. If you're a real estate agent, you could be doing one for first-time home buyers, people who are moving, people who are relocating out of state. There's a lot of different subsets that you are going to want to develop keyword campaigns for. So I'd say getting started, maybe start with about 10 keywords per campaign. And you really want to group them by either product or service or by avatar. So as I just mentioned, a first-time home buyer is a different avatar than someone who is upgrading their home to a bigger neighborhood or a bigger size or whatever that may be. Those people are going to respond to different things in your ads, because you have a very limited amount of text to use in an AdWords campaign. So you want to make sure that you're able to speak directly to the person that you want to speak to. So that's why it's best to separate them based on types of buyer, types of service, types of product. If you are a landscape company, lawn mowing services is a totally different customer than landscape architecture. One is more high-end, one is a lot more basic. So you would not want to use the same campaign for both of those. Then you're just going to go to AdWords. You're going to click on the plus keywords tab, and you're going to go ahead and start entering those, and you would name your ad group. The next thing we'll talk about is keyword match types, and this is very, very important. There's a few different options. You've got exact match, broad match modifier, and then you have negative keywords that you can add within those. So we're going to talk about all of those getting started. There's also phrase match as well. So exact match is exactly what it sounds like. Someone has to type in that keyword exactly. So if my keyword is kitchen remodel, the only way my ad shows up is if someone types kitchen remodel. And typically those keywords have little brackets around them. So phrase match would be something that's used in a phrase. So if I'm also using kitchen remodel, this could be get a kitchen remodel or how to do a kitchen remodel. So they have to appear in the same order that you input those in. So phrase match is a fairly good way to go. Exact match, you can definitely use it. You want to make sure you've really done your keyword research so that you're not limiting yourself on the phrases that your ads show up for. So on broad match, you really want to be careful. Broad match is basically going to open you up to similar phrases or what Google considers relevant variations. And some people joke that if Google wants to basically hit their quarterly earnings report, they just have to tweak some algorithms in the broad match section. And basically you could be shown for things that maybe it is slightly relevant, but it may not at all be your buyer that you're showing your ad to. So if I typed in kitchen remodel, this could be how to install cabinets or best kitchen paint colors. That may not be at all what I'm looking for. That's someone, again, who's looking for a lot of information and not necessarily the exact buying phrase that I'm searching for. So the next would be broad match modifier. And this is a really great option. So how you add broad match modifiers is by adding a little plus sign in front of each word in your keyword. So they have to appear in the phrase. So plus kitchen plus remodel. So that's my broad match modifier. You could get how to remodel a kitchen or kitchen remodel tips. So those words have to show up in the phrase, but they don't have to be in the same order. So that typically will get you a lot closer to the customer or the phrases that you're looking for. So negative keywords are something that you really need to use. In the past, I have not used negative keywords. And what I found was I was paying for clicks for keywords that my site already ranked #1 for, or #2 for, or maybe it had #1, #2, and #3. So why would I bid on a keyword that I'm already ranking really highly for? It's a total waste of money. People are going to click on your links organically. You don't need to be paying for those. So that's a great way to avoid wasting money. You also want to use negative keywords if you are using broad match or phrase match, because and also broad match modifier, because there are certain words that are totally unrelated to your service. So if we stick with the theme and we say kitchen remodel was the phrase, kitchen remodel software, that could be something that someone searches for when they're looking for software for them to use to design a kitchen. Or kitchen remodel fails, that's someone who's just kind of looking for funny information. I would use fails or software as negative keywords. It could also be a kitchen remodel job or be a kitchen remodeler, as my career, things like that. Like, you're not looking to hire someone in your business to be a kitchen remodeler. You're not looking for software. You're looking for somebody who wants to hire you to do this job. So it's very, very important to use negative keywords. It's going to reduce waste a lot. If there is a specific product or service you don't sell, that's another great way to use negative keywords. If you're in Louisville, Kentucky, and you're a remodeler, but you don't work in Shelbyville, then Shelbyville could be a great negative keyword for you. If you don't do drywall, drywall could be a great negative keyword for you. So locations, products, services you don't offer, things like that are other great options to add as negative keywords. So there's simply a negative keywords tab that you're going to go to under the keywords tab, and then you're just going to input those words. So you want to add just the negative keywords. So my keywords would be Shelbyville or drywall or software. It wouldn't be kitchen remodel software. You're only going to add the words that you do not want to apply to your ads. Finally, we get to writing our ads. Writing your ads is extremely important. This is how people are going to decide whether or not they want to click on your ad. So this is all you have. You have a headline that's 25 characters long, including spaces. You've got 2 lines of description text that are up to 35 characters long with spaces. And then you've got a display URL that's also up to 35 characters long. You really want to cater those ads to those keyword groups like we talked about before. A luxury remodeler or someone who wants a luxury kitchen, they are going to respond to a very different ad than someone who's looking for a kitchen remodel on a budget. You need to think about all these things when you're developing your ads, and you need to group those keywords accordingly, because cheapest cabinets in the area is not going to grab the attention of someone who wants a luxury kitchen. They want quality, they want beauty, they want really amazing design. Those are the things they're looking for. So please be very conscious of who you're speaking to. If you are on my training call, then you can see that these are some examples of some AdWords ads that have worked really well. And we're going to talk about why they've worked out well in the past. They have numbers in them. Good AdWords ads use numbers. So if you're talking about a product with a specific price, use the price. If you are talking about a sale, use the sale amount, 10% off, or 100% custom made, or 5 things to avoid during a kitchen remodel. Using numbers is really important. We're also going to talk about some links. We're also going to talk about a few things that you can add to your specific ads to make them stand out. As you can see on this ad over here, it has these additional links below it. This one right here is a phone number. So those are things we're going to talk about that most people don't use, but they're really going to make your ads stand out from the crowd. So split testing is so important in AdWords, but it's important in any marketing medium. You have to split test. If you don't split test, you're never going to know what's working or if you could be saving more money or getting better results. So you should just start with 2 ads per ad group and run those for several days. The reason that we selected rotate indefinitely earlier is so that it allows those to run until your test is over. Otherwise, Google would determine a winner really early on, and sometimes you can't find a winner that soon. So you want to make sure that the test has enough time to run its course. Once you find a winner, delete the loser ad, add a new ad, and test it again. This should be an ongoing process of testing. You'll test your headlines, you'll test your copy, you'll test your offer, test everything that you can until, well, really, you always want to continue to test because odds are there's always a better way to do things. You just have to take the time to find it. Some ad writing tips that you want to always consider for your AdWords campaign. You need to put yourself in the shoes of your customer. What makes you want to click if you were looking for that specific product or service? You want to choose offers or lead magnets or a really unique benefit that are going to catch somebody's attention. Again, focusing on the client avatars is definitely the most important thing. You also want to know your goals and you want to use a relevant call to action. So if your goal is to get someone to download a free guide, say, download my free guide in your ad. You want to make sure they know exactly what you want them to do. There should be no guessing. You also want to use the keywords that you are targeting in your actual ad. This is something that not a lot of people do, but it will actually bold those words in your ad when someone searches for them, and it's going to stand out above someone else's ad. You also want to ask questions, looking for a reliable remodeler, ? Or need a new home, ? Questions are a great way to engage people, and it makes them start thinking about their unique needs, which is very important. If you are a local business, you want to let them know you're local. So many ads are national, and people can just kind of be turned off from that because they're looking for a local provider. So tell them you are local in your ad. As with pretty much any ad copy, you want to focus on benefits and pain points, okay? Benefits and pain points are 2 of the most impactful things that you can do in any type of copywriting. So focus on those other than facts about your business or what you think people want to hear or things that make you sound credible. Nobody cares about that. All they care is what is in it for them. What can you help them avoid? And what pain can you help them avoid? And again, use numbers when you're talking about discounts and be unique. Don't just say the exact same thing your competitors are saying. You definitely want to research and see what they're saying, but you want to stand out. That's the goal. You want to make sure that people can differentiate what you can do versus what someone else can do. And to be honest, there are a lot of bad AdWords campaigns out there. So just because you see a successful company using a certain ad, it doesn't mean it's working very well. Maybe they just have more money to burn than you do, and it's not going to hurt them if the ad doesn't work very well. You want to make sure you see what others are doing, but you test and you put your own spin on it. And finally, you want to take them to the most closely related page on your site. Never send them to your home page. It's very important. People typically, they have a short attention span. If you send them to a home page and they have to try and search for the product you were talking about, you're going to lose that customer. So if you have to set up a brand new page just to send people to it through AdWords, you need to do that. You need a very closely related page. If it's about an individual product or service, take them directly to that page and give them an opportunity to convert, to speak with you, to download something, to become a subscriber, to take that next step. Maybe it's downloading a coupon. So here are some things you can do to really maximize your ads. There are extensions that you can add. One is called a site link extension. You have call extensions and location extensions. A site link extension adds 4 links below your ad. So number one, it's going to make your ad bigger. That's always important. You want to take up more space. All those links are clickable, so you're actually giving your customers more options. This is something most people don't use, and it's crazy. I think you can only use it if you're ranking in the top 3 results, but that's fine. Sometimes you will and sometimes you won't, but you want to make sure when you're able to, you have those site link extensions. It's not difficult to set up. You just need to go and find 4 other products or services or pages that your customer would be interested in so that they can get to the exact thing for them. So maybe you're a kitchen remodeler and you're selling cabinets. Your ad could be for cabinets. You could have one site link for an installation page, one for a financing page, one for a page to get directions, one to schedule a design consultation. That would be a great example of 4 really relevant site links. Then you can do a phone number extension. So if you're local, you want to use the local number. People like to see that. It's going to increase the call rate for that ad. You could also use third-party tracking, or you could use a Google phone number, but again, you should just use a local number if you're a local business. And then location extensions are going to allow you to add the business address to your ad. Again, it's an extra thing that a lot of people don't have. And if you're a bricks and mortar business, it's crucial that people know where you're located. So make sure that you're using a location extension. This is going to be great for foot traffic. Next, you want to use conversions to track better. Okay, clicks are great, but conversions are typically what's going to matter the most. Sometimes you're not going to be able to track a conversion, and that's okay. There are other ways you can use AdWords if you're not tracking a conversion. One thing that you could do is you could have people go to a certain page through your AdWords campaign, and then you could retarget them on Facebook with more relevant ads that allow them to open a conversation with you directly. So that would be a great way for a product or service that maybe there is no appointment or call to schedule, there's no coupon to download, no guide, and they're not able to make that purchase straight off of the internet. So try to have a conversion if you can. A phone call could be a conversion, a newsletter sign up. You can actually have them track visits to stores. It's a little bit more difficult to set up, but it is being done. A sale or an online purchase, a download, a quote request, those are all conversions you need to try and capture. So this is going to help you track not just the keywords that are getting the most clicks, but the keywords that are getting the most conversions. You may have a keyword that gets a ton of clicks, but they may be very not very qualified buyers. You could have one keyword that doesn't get nearly as many clicks, but those people are the ones who take action. That's something you need to know, because clicks are not everything. Just because someone clicks does not mean that they are your ideal customer. So you simply want to select the conversion category that you are going to set up your conversion for, and you're going to give it a value. So if it has a monetary value with it, you're going to add that in. It's going to give you a tracking code that you can add to your website. So if there is a thank you page after someone signs up, that's where the code is going to go. You can have a developer do it, or you can do it yourself if you know how. It is important that you have a thank you page. This doesn't work for certain things unless a thank you page is there. So if you need to set that up, go ahead and do it. Take the time to prepare for these campaigns before diving in. It's going to allow you to not waste money, which is what all of us are trying to do. Then you just want to select the conversion category. And after you've assigned your value, you're going to be ready to go. So from there, you have literally just set up your first AdWords campaign, or maybe it's not your first, but maybe you just kind of winged it before. You didn't really get a lot of information. You just went for it and hoped that it worked. And maybe it didn't work. Maybe it worked a little bit, but you think it could work a lot better. These are the options you want to select and the things that you want to do to make sure that you have a super profitable AdWords campaign. And again, the testing is everything. This is ongoing. This is not a one-time thing. You should be monitoring this every week, if not every day. See what is going on early on so that you don't spend a lot of money on something that's not working well. go ahead and take the time, even 5 minutes just to check it out, see what's going on. Worst case scenario, you turn off one of your campaigns until you have time to go back and tweak it. At least then you're not wasting money. So this is something that a lot of marketers have recently talked to me about, that they know nothing about. They're scared to use it, or business owners who want to use it, but they have no experience doing it. And it can be overwhelming if you're brand new to digital marketing, or if you're just brand new to the AdWords platform. It can seem scary, but it's really not. And it can be a great way to find buyers who are looking for what you can provide to them. They want a solution, and you have that solution. So I really encourage you to go ahead and get started with AdWords. If you guys have any questions for me, please let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to answer them. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my live and see if any of my students have additional questions. And thank you so much for joining me. If you want more information about my marketing course, my marketing consulting services, or my marketing agency services, you can visit allybloydmedia.com, and you should be able to learn everything that you need to know. So thanks so much, and hope to talk to you guys soon. All right, does anybody have any questions for me today? If not, you're welcome to ask them in the group. I'd be happy to help you. If you want me to take a look at your AdWords campaigns after you've set them up, I would love to take a look, and hopefully we can get you on the road to really high converting AdWords campaigns. So if nobody has any questions, I'm going to go ahead and hop off. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. I'll throw the replay in the Facebook group in case you want to watch it again. And yeah, thanks for joining me. Have a good night.